Thank you all for the warm welcome. I'm very happy to be here with all of you. I'm just excited for this season. Hopefully we can keep doing big things as you guys are doing. Just thank you.
Up Gunners!
Arsenal has pulled off another solid transfer with the signing of Mikel Merino from Real Sociedad. Now I know we've been waiting for this one to get over the line, and it's finally happened. Merino isn't just any type of midfielder. He's someone who's proven his quality on multiple levels, especially after that stellar performance at Euro 2024, scoring a late winner in extra time against Germany. That's the kind of clutch player we've been missing in tight matches for quite a while. The exciting thing about Merino is his versatility. He can play as a deeper line midfielder, which means he's going to slot in quite nicely with the likes of Declan Rice, Jorginho and Partey. Imagine the flexibility Arteta now has, being able to rotate these guys and keep the midfield fresh throughout the season. Plus, the chemistry with Ødegaard, considering they play together at Sociedad, that's something to keep an eye on. Now, how about that post that Merino made? I loved it. Recreating his childhood photos in an Arsenal kit. Now that's pure passion right there. You've got to love a player who's been a Gunner at heart since he was a kid. It's not just about joining this club, it's about coming home. It gives me confidence that he will give everything for the badge, especially with the Premier League title in our sights. Merino's debut is likely coming up against Brighton this weekend, but I don't expect him to start. Seeing him get a few minutes off the bench will be a great first look. It will be interesting to see how quickly he adapts to the squad and what kind of impact he can make right off the bat. If he's anything like the player we saw at the Euros, then we're in for a treat. We've got a lot to look forward to with Merino in this squad. This could be the signing that takes us from contenders to champions. But I'd like to know, what do you think? Mikel Merino isn't a newbie to the Premier League. He had a stint with Newcastle United a few years back, and while it was a mixed bag, he showed flashes of brilliance. What stands out for me is his mentality. Merino himself has said that playing in the Premier League made him tougher, comparing it to going to war. That's the kind of grit we need, especially when we're up against the likes of City and Liverpool. What's cool about Merino is his journey. He's been around, starting out Osasuna, then moving to Borussia Dortmund, where he didn't quite hit the heights but learned a lot. His time at Real Sociedad, though, is where he really made a name for himself. 6 seasons, Champions League qualification, and even a Copa del Rey title. That's the kind of experience that can really solidify our midfield. Speaking of experience, he's been around top talent too, playing alongside Martin Ødegaard at Sociedad, forming a pretty solid partnership. And now they're reunited at Arsenal. Imagine the chemistry they can rekindle at the Emirates as well. Also having shared the pitch with David Silva, Merino has learned from one of the best in the business. You know, he's picked up some tricks from the Spanish legend, which he'll bring to our squad. But let's not just focus on the past. This guy is in his prime and coming off a stellar season. He led La Liga in duels won, 326 of them, and that's no joke. It shows he's not just about fancy footwork. He's ready to dig in and do the dirty work, which is something we sometimes lack in the middle of the park. Arsenal has loaned Fabio Vieira back to Porto, but this isn't your standard loan deal. Arsenal inserted a clause that mandates Vieira must play in at least 50% of Porto's matches, or the Portuguese club will face penalties. This move shows Arsenal is serious about getting Vieira the game time he needs to develop. Now it's clear the club still sees potential in Vieira, but after struggling to break into Arsenal's starting 11, regular minutes at Porto might be his best chance to regain form. The clause ensures that Porto is equally invested in his development, which could either increase his value or prepare him for a stronger return to Arsenal. It's a no-nonsense approach, reflecting Arsenal's intention to either maximize his potential or boost his market value. Wojciech Szczęsny has officially retired from football. A product of Arsenal's Hill End Academy, he played for the Gunners from 2009 to 2017, becoming one of the standout goalkeepers of the Premier League era under Arsene Wenger. His journey took him from Warsaw to the top tiers of European football, with stints at Juventus and 84 caps for Poland. Szczęsny's career is filled with memorable moments, from his FA Cup wins with Arsenal to lifting 3 Serie A titles with Juventus. But beyond his on-field achievements, he was known for his vibrant personality, famously leading Spurs' beating chants alongside Jack Wilshere.
I'd love to get a fine for this, but it's happened again. It's happened again. You know the rest.
His last professional appearance was at Euro 2024, and his decision to retire comes after finishing his season without the club. As he steps away from the game, Szczęsny leaves behind a legacy of a true Arsenal man, a player who lived his dream and delivered for club and country. Big news before our sign-off. Martin Ødegaard and his partner Helen have announced they're expecting a child. Their Instagram post read 1 + 1 = 3. Can't wait to meet you, our little baby. It's such heartwarming news, and here's sending them my warmest congratulations.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Up Gunners, and I hope you enjoyed delving into the world of Arsenal Football Club with me, Tony Doe. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all future episodes. If you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions, feel free to reach out to me at upgunnerspodcast@gmail.com. upgunnerspodcast@gmail.com. I'm active on Twitter as well at upgunnersng, active on Facebook at upgunnersng. We're also on Instagram at upgunnersng. Until next time, keep the gunner spirit alive, and remember, Up Gunners!